percentage points, and it looks like the Democratic candidate.
How are you not a capital owner? Your Twitch channel, YouTube channel, merchandise lines, and intellectual property all constitute capital that generates ongoing income? Really? So if I were to stop streaming, I could engage in the act of capital accumulation? How would that work? Like at the end of the day, the overwhelming majority of my revenue comes from, if not the damn near entirety of my revenue actually comes from voluntary subscriptions to the Piker Broadcasting Service. Now, obviously, we don't have the same assembly line structure that used to exist that made the class boundary better defined. We do live in a world of finance capital. There's global domination there. But how does that work? How would that work if I were to stop making content, being on stream? How would capital accumulation work of that sort? Am I a stock? It would only work if I had someone else that would take my place, and I would basically hire them to do what I'm doing, and then take a cut, or rather, engage in the act of generating profits. Your YouTube videos and Twitch vlogs will keep earning ad revenue for a while. Wait, what? What you're describing is not capital. That isn't capital. But it doesn't even matter. You think it's the case because you're wrong, or maybe you have a disagreement with me. I think it's because you're wrong, but who cares? Because the reality of the matter is, even if I was, even if I was, that would at most make me a class traitor. All three are actually capital, and you know that? No. At most, you could say that I have a practice where I contract or have people that work with me, work alongside me. This is true. Okay? That's not wrong. But capital accumulation is not what I am doing. Capital accumulation is when you don't actually work, and instead your capital is what's working for you. Your money is what's working for you. If I were to take the earnings from what I've done here and dump it into the stock market or purchase real estate and become a landlord, that is when I would become a capital owning, a part of the capital owning class. You can't just say, oh, all three are actually capital and you know that, and move on. That's not how that works. Because at the end of the day, if I did not labor in some sort, and you could say it's not productive labor because it's true, it's not. But at the end of the day, if I were to stop doing this, then there's no more revenue. You're just trying to fit it into a very narrowly focused argument because I think you're just too predisposed with trying to get an own over me. So here's the thing. Here's the situation. From my assessment, and people might even disagree with me, I think in this day and age, because of the heavily financialized structure that exists with finance capital, that like my standard for it, and it's not like a black or white standard, but my standard is if the majority of your revenue generation is coming from actually your wage labor, if the overwhelming majority of your revenue is coming from your actual wage labor, whether you are a contractor, whether you're a part of the gig economy, doesn't matter, whether you are doing what I'm doing, in that circumstance, even if you do have, like a 401k, for example, because I do, right? Because I want to be able to retire one day. That was still, I think, put you firmly in the pro side of the argument. You are a capital owner, yes. You're not engaged in significant capital accumulation unless your asset, real estate, investment, or business entities with employees produce income without your ongoing work. Oh, okay, so you do understand. You're just a fucking moron. Never mind. Huh. I love when guys come in here and they're like, no, actually, I do understand where you're coming from. I just wanted to be fucking annoying. So why did we do this back and forth then? You just wanted to like autistically argue on the semantics? Because that's an entirely separate thing that you're describing. It's so dumb. I don't know why people do this. I genuinely don't understand it. Maybe you felt like lonely in your home and you wanted to be heard or something. But thank you. Chatter thinks owning anything is capital. Yeah, no, you have a car, dude. Yeah.
In New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill is going to win